Hey everyone, this is Angie at StampingWithAmore. Welcome to my channel. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Hit that bell for notifications each time I upload a new video. I hope everyone is having a great day, and today I am sharing a Christmas card. And it's a really simple Christmas card. It has a little sponging technique to it, nothing difficult at all. And I also splattered some of this, and I'm going to hold it close so that you can see the splatters because it's kind of hard to see. It's very, very little, and it just adds like that antique look to this card. So I hope you enjoy it. Let's get started with it. All right, what you're going to need is a 5.5 by 4 1/4 card base. This is thick whisper white. I always use that for my bases because it's a really nice heavy-duty cardstock. And I just took a regular A4 and I cut it down the center at 4 1/4 and scored it at 5.5 to get this top fold card. And then you're going to need a piece of scrap early espresso, a piece of scrap shaded spruce, and then some crumb cake. I'm using Sahara sand and early espresso. I thought that was crumb cake. Alright, so that is all we need. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to bring the Stampin'up Emboss and Cut machine. This is our new machine. You can see I've really been enjoying it. I'm using it a lot because my plates are already a mess. And I use it a ton. So we are going to cut out 2 of the little pine cones and 2 of the pine needles. And I'll show you the stamp set and the dies that I'm using for this in just a second. All right, so we're gonna, oh, I should have brought my die brush up here. All right, so there's one of our pines. It's so pretty and delicate. Whoops, I love these. And then we're gonna have the other piece right here. And I'll set these aside. So that's it. We just need to poke out some of our pieces here. And then we're going to run through one more of our pine cones here. Grab that one. I like to run back and forth on this because we don't have precision platform for this one. Not yet anyway, and I wanted to make sure it's run through. I'm pretty sure we will have one, but it's brand new, so in fact customers can get that September 1st. So let's poke out these little pieces since I didn't bring my die brush up here. Alright, and then these have a lot of little pieces. Okay, so I decided to bring up my die brush and my little mat here and to show you how much easier it is if you are going to use the die brush instead of sitting there and poking it out. Now I have the attachment on our Take Your Pick tool. So we're just going to run over this here. And I always do it in the die, so I just set it back in the die. But a couple little swooshes, and look. See how much easier that is? This is a really inexpensive little tool, so you might want to invest in one of those because it makes things so much simpler. You saw how I was having to pick those each individually out. And it's not always a fun thing to do. Alright, so we have all our pieces here. We are going to cut these, but first thing I want to do is I want to get my Stamparatus because this is the best way to line up your sentiment on here. And then if it's a big sentiment, like this one, if it doesn't stamp all the way, we can re-stamp it and you're going to have a perfect stamp. Now here's a little trick. Always check first. I'm just going to take a piece of scrap And I'm going to ink this up, and I'm going to check it first to make sure that everything is stamping right. So, yep, that's perfect. So I am going to go ahead and re-ink this. Especially if it's a new stamp, you want to check it. And I'm not sure I have that in the center there. I should have checked that. Let me see. I feel like I'm off a little bit. So always check that too. Okay, I think we're good there. And then look at that. It's perfect. It's so beautiful. The Stamparatus is just such a great tool to have. I'm going to grab my Simply Chamois and I'm just going to wipe this clean so I don't get it all over my Stamparatus. So the die set I'm using for this is the Beautiful Boughs, and it coordinates with the Peaceful Boughs, which I'm using the sentiment for. And I'm using this sentiment on the inside. But you can see there's a huge one, and then the other pieces that I already cut, plus some little frames. This is a beautiful set. This is in our annual catalog on page 57. So it's this one right here. And this did come back from last year where you could have gotten it as a bundle, but now you have to get the dies and the stamp set separately. All right, so just look if you're interested in this stamp set for the dies on where the dies are located. So what I did is I used my layering circles, these right here, and I cut one out big enough to go over this sentiment. And this is where we're going to use our blending. And also, if you want to use some removable adhesive, you can put it on the back here. And make sure your little template here stays where you want it. So just put that down. And I'm using one of my little makeup brushes. I talked about these before. I get them on Amazon. They're really inexpensive. We're going to use the Sahara Sand. And I'm just going to pick up some ink. Be very, very light and gentle when you are using these brushes, so you can get a really nice smooth. I'm kind of leaving the inside a little bit lighter. So just keep going around until you get it how you want it. It's a little deceiving because this is a really light ink color. So just keep an eye on that. You can lift up your mat just a hair and look to see how you're doing. And I want a little bit more around the edge. So I'm going to place that back down. And I'm going to start doing a little bit more around the edge here. And I think we're about where we want to be. All right, so that's it then. Lift up your mat. And then remember to remove your adhesive off of here. All right, now we're ready to put on our pieces. All right, so we are going to cut these. This big one is going to go at the top here, and it's going to kind of curve around. I'm going to shorten the little stem a little bit. So that's going to go around the top, and then we're going to cut this in a couple pieces. So we're going to cut there, and we're going to cut that one off. And this one of them I'm going to put on the bottom here. And then this smaller one, I'm going to clip that. I'm going to put at the top here, like that. All right, so let's adhere these down. I need to cut this shorter too. All right, so let's use some wet glue for this. And we'll put this one on first. Let's hold it for a minute because it is wet glue. I think I'm going to clip this down just a hair more. And then adhere this with some more wet glue. Like that. And then we're going to put one of our pine cones. Make sure I got enough on there. I'll put one right here. And then we are going to adhere this one this way. I want to cover up my words. And then we're going to add the other pine cone here. Your fingers are going to get a little sticky here, so. All right, and now we're going to just do a little bit of splattering and we will be done. So I'm going to use the Sahara sand again. I'm going to squish the ink onto the ink pad. I'm going to use my aqua painter, and we're going to add some water to this. And you don't want to go crazy with it. Just do it how much you like. So it is covering up my little fingerprint I got there. It's just a tiny bit, but it gives it that little bit of an antique look, I think, to it. All right, let's close this back up. I should have grabbed my little paper towel so I can clean that up. There we go. And we are done. So there you have it. I think it turned out really cute. Here's the other one. And you can go crazy and you can put more. I mean, you can add like maybe some here. You know, in fact, I do like that. I think that's really pretty as well. But that is it. I hope you enjoyed it, everyone. If you need any supplies, you can shop on my blog at StampingWithAmore.com. And this is my August Hostess code. And if you use the Hostess code, I will put you in a drawing for Hostess dollars at the end of the month. All right, everyone. I hope you have a blessed day, and I will catch you in the next one. See you later. Bye.